guys, it is Tanya and welcome back to the channel and welcome to an apartment renovation. Today I am renovating 17 Culpepper House, which is an apartment in the Spice District of San Myshuno, and it's going to be a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in an Art Deco interior design style. I was just really itching to use the Vintage Glamour stuff pack. I haven't used it in a while, at least not in this much. Like I'll use one item here or there, maybe the vanity or one of the decorative pieces, but I haven't gone full out with Vintage Glamour in a long time, which is kind of sad because for quite a while it was one of my favorite stuff packs. I thought it added some cool stuff. It adds the butler to the game, the vanities. I think those are the two biggest selling points, but I think some of the furniture is kind of fun as well. And I was itching to do an apartment in this style because then I could just make a beautiful interior, decorate it however I liked, and I just really love making apartments, so it's inspired by that style. I'm sure there's things that don't quite fit in. I was thinking, this is an apartment somebody bought and they just wanted to style it that way, so maybe not everything in the apartment is exactly that style because you might not rip out the cabinets in an apartment. I think you could probably get in trouble for doing that, but some of the stuff lends itself to that and others might not. And so that's what I'm doing here today. I did get to use the fireplace, which is one of my favorite items. And I do move things around in this space quite a bit, trying to figure out the best layout. But it does end up having 2 bedrooms, plus a walk-in closet and like a extra room, which ends up just being like, I'm going to call it a bar. It just has a couch and a globe bar in it. So I guess it's a bar. It's very small and cozy, but it's like an extra space you could do whatever you'd like with. And that's what I decided to do with it in this apartment. Anyway, if you are interested in downloading this apartment, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery if you search my origin ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, or the hashtag MsGryphi. I will have all of that information in the description down below, as well as a direct download link to the gallery website if it's easier for you to grab it that way. But right now, we're changing pretty much all of the wallpaper in this apartment to paneling instead. I also used a lot of layering of mirrors in this apartment. I thought it really helped bring in that style. So I did use for a mirror above the fireplace the one that came with seasons, and I layered 2 of them so that the squares on either side for the most part were rectangles and there was more lines through the mirror, and I really like how that came out, and I think I'm going to use it more. Also, these couches are from Vintage Glamour, as is this side table, the lamp, and the clock. However, the coffee table I'm using is from Eco Lifestyle, and then I put tons of plants over here. I did look up some inspiration, and a lot of the ones I was looking at had lots of plants, and I just loved how that looked. Of course, because I like adding tons of plants to my Sims spaces. So there's definitely plenty in here. That's most of what this space ends up being. I add a little bar cart in the corner because that's going to be leading into the room that is the bar. And then this is going to be the desk space. I add a couple of these little paintings. They're actually really big, but I scaled them down. That came with Vintage Glamour over on this desk area. And I end up just adding a laptop up here and a couple of decorative things like the bookends and the magazines that are from, what are those from? Myshuno. And then also the really cute, I think it's a giraffe lamp that came with Vintage Glamour. But we are back in the kitchen now. I really wanted to have an island in here, and I believe I ended up going with this one in the end in a black swatch. This is just some base game corner pieces, and I just thought it looked really nice. The contrast in here, also with the black and white flooring with the gold trim around it, I just really enjoyed that. Also, the stove and the fridge are both from Jungle Adventure, and the counter set that I'm using in most of the kitchen is from Parenthood. Just adding some spices and a little plant up on that shelf I added under the cabinets. There's also a bit of a mirrored backsplash. I also really enjoyed adding this little vase. It's connected to a corner like cabinet piece, not really cabinet. It's like a corner shelf unit thing. I can't think of what to call it. It's like a little display thing that came with I just keep saying thing, but it came with Get Famous, and it has a little vase on top of it, and I just kind of shoved it into the counter so it looked like the vase was sitting on the counter. And just working on some more of the clutter in here. I have a little dish rack, some flowers, and we're going to be adding a trash can over here. And I believe I supply a food bowl for a dog as well. I could imagine somebody with a small fluffy dog in here. I'm thinking like Pomeranian, but there's so many different options. Ooh, Yorkie maybe? I don't know. There's lots of different options. You could also just have a giant dog in this apartment. And there's not a ton of space for a giant dog, but I was kind of imagining whoever lived here had a small dog because I didn't want to put a kitty litter box in here. There's just something about this style that I was like, we're not having a sandbox for a cat to poop in here. It just doesn't fit the style. So I imagine they had a dog. So just adding some bar stools in the kitchen, and then I changed the color of the side cabinet or the side table in the living room to add a little bit more yellow, because I'm going to be changing the colors of the walls in the living space to bring more color in. Obviously the couches are black with the more yellowish gold pillows, but I'm going to be bringing in even more color in that space so it's less just black and white. And the first step to that was changing the color of that side table. But here we are in the bathroom. You can see I layered mirrors, both the one over the sink and the one over to the side, to make the style even more apparent and have like more bars going through everything. I just really liked how that looked, and when I was looking up inspiration, I saw a lot of mirrors that had extra like framing and stuff around that, and I was like, I can just place two kind of on top of each other and achieve that look in The Sims. So I definitely took advantage of that in a couple different places in this apartment. And then I was trying to fit too many things on this sink and they weren't fitting, so I added a shelf above it so that I could add the various items up there. And you wouldn't be knocking everything off on the floor, hopefully. I mean, it could still happen, but probably not as much as if they were right next to the faucets and you're trying to turn those on and off, and like then your toothbrush is on the floor, and it just sounds like a mess. So I put everything up on a shelf, but now we are moving on into the bedroom that I consider to be like the master bedroom. This bedroom, I imagine, would only fit one sim. I did push the bed against the wall. If scooting works in your game, though, you could have two sims sleep in this bed. I know it works for some people and others it doesn't. It does work for me, though, so that's what I was thinking of using that for, but you could definitely just have one sim living in this bedroom. Also, I just changed the wallpaper in the living space. You might have seen it's now a blue color, which I think helped the space, and I love the combo of blues and yellows together. I think that the contrast there just looks so nice. But in here, we're just getting minimal decorations. I kind of use these wall pieces. I don't remember what those are from. They might be from the fitness pack, but I thought they looked kind of cool to be the part of a shelf that's holding it up. So that's what I did. And also this is the bedroom that has the walk-in closet, hence why it is the master bedroom. I think it's also slightly bigger anyway, but both of those rugs that I used on the ground are from Vintage Glamour, and then so is the ottoman and the chair I'm using in the corner, and the wallpaper in this closet. Although the closet pieces are from Myshuno and Get Famous, the first rack I put down that has like the shoes and stuff on it, that also has clothes on it, the short rack, that one right there in front of the mirrors, that one's from Myshuno. All of the other ones are from Get Famous. I also added some curtains framing these paintings on the wall. I just thought it added a little bit of extra, I don't know, style decoration to the space. And then I moved the vanity into the closet space so that it could be somewhat functional for your Sims getting ready. And it just made sense to me in the walk-in closet area for that to be there. I think that would be a fun addition to gameplay. You just live in this like fancy apartment, gotta get ready for a date, go use the vanity in your walk-in closet. I don't know. I just really liked the idea of that. But now we're gonna be working on this little bar room. I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this. It does have windows on both sides, so if you didn't want to have like the plant room or the plants all behind the couch, this could be a really good plant room because it's got lots of sunlight that would come in. I think that would be a cool use for this space. Of course, it could also be another bathroom or another closet or whatever you'd like it to be. I did the floor plan this way, but you guys could change it in any way you saw fit. But generally, I kept this room pretty simple. I just have some curtains, a couch, a painting above the couch, and I believe just a plant in here. I also tried at some point adding an easel, but then I was like, that would be so messy. The carpet in here would get all stained. It would just, there'd be paint everywhere. That's a horrible idea. So I do change it out, I believe, for a guitar. I'm thinking that's what I do. I feel like I add guitars to builds a lot lately, and we're grabbing that now. So there's the guitar. But that's pretty much it for that room. And then I'm going to head on into the second bedroom, which I sort of just wanted to be decorated in the same style. I didn't have a particular sim in mind because for some reason I was imagining this was one Sim's apartment and maybe this is their guest room, or maybe they are gonna in the future have somebody come move in and, you know, this is gonna be their roommate's room. I just wanted it to match the style, but I didn't, you know, have as much personality put into it, as much clutter, that sort of thing. But I believe we go with a sort of beige look in here. Yeah, this bed, which is the other bed that comes with Vintage Glamour, there's 2 of them. I think this one's a little bit more versatile because it doesn't have as much style to it, I suppose. It doesn't have like the twisted frame of the other one and like the gold leaf the other one seems to have. But I liked how this room came out. I think it's a little bit more simple. I used this wall divider thing I used in the bathroom. I just thought it was pretty, added a little bit more texture to the space and pattern. I believe that's from Dine Out, maybe? I'm not sure. But this room's just very beige, very beige and brown. But I think that was like a little bit of a nice contrast to the rest of the space. A little bit more of a calming area, especially if it's going to be a guest room. You probably want like a calming room so people can relax while they're coming to visit. So that was the idea there, just adding a little bit of clutter. I think I add just a little journal over there, as well as the lamp, that one of the lamps that came with Vintage Glamour. I think I used all the items that came with that pack in this build. I might have missed 1 or 2, but I used a majority of them. So if you have Vintage Glamour, most of the things in this house you will have, because that's the pack I used the most of. Of course, I did not limit pack usage in this build or this apartment at all though, so sorry about that. Just adding the same dresser that I used as a side table in the living space so that there will be something in here, and getting a couple more decorations. I believe I kept these here. I feel like I also added a mirror. Yeah, I did. I kind of put it through the dresser, so there was like a mirror coming off of it. Anyway, we're coming to the end of the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'd love to have you join us. And if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications to be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everybody.